Hello and a warm welcome to South Asia Today, where we bring you in-depth insights into the key events shaping South Asia. I'm Shivangi Mishra, and here are today's top stories. Black pottery of Nizamabad, a living tradition. Afghan feels helpless as aid cuts, freezing temperatures intensify hunger crisis. And Nepali villagers strive to preserve age-old bullfight tradition. Let's begin the show. India is a land of vibrant diversity, where every region reflects a unique cultural identity and craft heritage. Among its living traditions, Nizamabad in Uttar Pradesh stands out for its world-famous black pottery. Celebrated in India and beyond, this distinctive clay craft is both an art and a legacy.
In Uttar Pradesh's Azamgarh district lies the small town of Nizamabad, where ordinary clay is transformed into art by skilled hands. Here, pottery is more than a profession. It is an expression of emotion, patience, and tradition. Nizamabad is renowned worldwide for its distinctive black pottery, known for its glossy black finish and delicate silver-like engravings. Believed to be countries old, historians trace this unique craft back to the 17th century, where Mughal-era artisans inspired by Persian art laid its foundation. Black pottery artist Sohit explains the intricate process behind the craft, revealing how the rich black finish is achieved, enhancing both the beauty and durability of each piece.
हम लोग सर स्मोक से ब्लैक करते हैं, यही हमारा मतलब विरासत है, ये आर्ट है। हम लोग एक बड़ा सा मटका रहता है, मटके में सारे प्रोडक्ट को रखते हैं, अंदर गाय का कंडा या बकरी की लेड़ी डालते हैं और बाहर से ईंधन लगा दे जो मतलब तापमान पर बनाता है, और अंदर जो ईंधन डालते हैं वो स्मोक बनाता है। ऑक्सीजन रोक देते हैं कि अंदर ऑक्सीजन ना जाए, तो जो अंदर वाला जो स्मोक बनता है उससे हमारा प्रोडक्ट मतलब ब्लैक होता है।
Nizamabad is regarded as the largest hub of black pottery, with over 50 families devoted to this craft. Many artisans here have earned prestigious state honors and even the President's Award. Once on the brink of extinction, this clay tradition has been revived through the artisans' unwavering dedication, skill and passion, bringing a timeless art back to life.
दुनिया में सब कुछ बनता है, इंसान तक बनता है, हम सब बना सकते हैं, सिर्फ वो प्राण नहीं दे सकते। हम मूर्तियाँ लेकर आदमी आपका स्टैचू बना सकते हैं, ये बना रहे हैं, सब कुछ बना देंगे मिट्टी का, बस वही एक कमी रहेगी कि हम जीवन नहीं दे पाएंगे। तो सब कुछ बनता है, जैसे कि मैं स्पेशली मेरे यहाँ क्या डिनर सेट है और फ्लावर पॉट में बहुत सारे वैरायटीज़ हैं, बॉटल्स हैं, मेरे यहाँ तवे बनते हैं, मतलब यूज के डेकोरेशन के, और जो आपकी इच्छा जो कोई आपकी अलग डिज़ाइन है मिलता है तो हम उस पर भी काम करते हैं। मतलब अमूमन सभी आइटम बनाते हैं।
Nizamabad's artisans craft not only decorative pieces but a wide range of clay utensils. Their beauty is enhanced with zinc, silver powder and mercury, while intricate designs are engraved entirely by hand without any machinery, making each piece truly unique. In recognition of its heritage, black pottery received the GI tag in 2015 and was brought under the Once District, One Product scheme. Today, government support and welfare programs are helping this traditional art thrive in the modern era.
हमारे विभाग की लगभग 3 योजनाएं हैं मुख्य रूप से ODOP मार्जिन मनी, MYSY मुख्यमंत्री युवा स्वरोजगार योजना, CM युवा मुख्यमंत्री युवा उद्यमी विकास अभियान। इसके अलावा 2 प्रशिक्षण कार्यक्रम हैं हमारे यहाँ, ODOP प्रशिक्षण कार्यक्रम, विश्वकर्मा श्रम सम्मान योजना। इन प्रशिक्षण कार्यक्रमों के माध्यम से हम लोग उनको रोजगार के लायक बनाते हैं, जिससे वो विकसित भारत आने वाले विकसित भारत कार्यक्रम में अपना योगदान देते हैं।
Nizamabad's craftsmanship goes far beyond local borders. Its black clay utensils, lamps, vases, and decorative pieces are admired by art lovers in India and around the world. With their elegant forms, glossy black finish, and fine hand engravings, each creation reflects years of skill and dedication. Buyers take home more than an object. They carry a piece of history, tradition, and the artisan's soul shaped in clay.
गुलक लिया है और चाय का कप लिया है और ये फ्लावर पार्ट लिया है। और अपने यहाँ कोई गेस्ट वगैरह आते हैं तो उनको हम इंस्ट्रोड्यूस करते हैं और बताते हैं कि हमारे ज़िले का वन डिस्ट्रिक्ट वन प्रोडक्ट का ये हाईलाइटेड आइटम है। तो लोग सभी लोग पसंद करते हैं। हमें बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि हम आजमगढ़ के इस क्षेत्र से हैं और अपने सामान को जो है यूज़ करते हैं।
परिवार पसंद करते हैं। आज के समय में फ्लावर पॉट ले जाके घर में जब रखा जाता है तो बच्चे बहुत अट्रैक्टिव होते हैं इससे और बच्चों को बहुत पसंद आता है जो है।
From humble clay to global recognition, Nizamabad's black pottery stands as a symbol of living heritage. Preserved by skilled hands and renewed by modern support, this timeless craft continues to shape identity, pride, and tradition.
Afghanistan is facing a deepening humanitarian crisis as millions struggle with hunger, unemployment, and displacement. Mass deportations from neighboring countries, combined with harsh winter conditions and sharp cuts in international aid, have left families fighting for survival. With food shortages worsening and malnutrition on the rise, humanitarian agencies warn that without urgent global support, the situation could spiral into an even greater catastrophe. In the dull glow of a single bulb lighting their tent on the outskirts of Kabul, Samiullah and his wife Bibi Rehana break dry bread and sip tea with their 5 children and a nephew, the only meal they can afford in a day. Life has steadily worsened for Samiullah since his forced return to a war-ravaged Afghanistan, where the United Nations World Food Programme estimates that nearly 17 million people are battling acute hunger following massive cuts in international aid.
خاص مجبوری از بدبختی فهمید اینجا زندگی میکنیم. اگه از واسه ما چیزی پورا باشه خب میکنیم. ما فهمیدیم دل ما هر چی میخواه که بکنیم. عالمی جو باد میشه باران میشه فهمیدی چی میشه خب مجبور هستیم بچه خود بغل خود میگیریم زود باشان زندگی میکنیم. بچه گریان میکنن که بابا سرده یخه اینجوریه اونجوریه خب مجبور هستیم میگیم باشیم چیکار بکنیم.
Samiullah is among millions of Afghans deported from neighboring countries in recent months. He said his family was uprooted almost overnight from their modest home in Iran after authorities conducted raids linked to protests that triggered a sweeping crackdown by Tehran's clerical establishment, leaving more than 2,500 people dead in ensuing violence. Following their arrest, the family was deported back to Afghanistan.
این تو روز شده و خدا 2 روز گشنه ماندیم. 2 روز گشنه ماندیم به خدا 50 رفت داشتم 50 رفت رفتم نان یخ گرفتم به بچه خود آوردم همونان همه قبر بچه دادیم همه قبر بچه دادیم که بچه مقصد میگیم برو مرد میتونه بزرگ میتونه تعامل کنه بچه کوچیک نمیتونه خدا 50 رفت بشون بود یعنی با 50 رفت ما 2 روز روزگار خدا گذاشتیم.
Pakistan, meanwhile, accelerated deportations, allegedly that the Taliban was harboring militants responsible for cross-border attacks, charges that Kabul has denied. As winter tightens its grip across Afghanistan's arid landscape, job opportunities have dwindled, even as returning Afghans have increased the population by nearly a tenth, said John Alif, WFP's country director. He warned that funding cuts to global aid programs since US President Donald Trump returned to the White House have severely strained humanitarian operations, with other donor nations also scaling back support. At WFP distribution sites, including in Bamiyan, sacks of rice and jugs of palm oil arrive steadily, yet remain far too little for the long queues, a stark reminder of a deepening humanitarian crisis.
Well, hunger is rising at an alarming rate here. 1/3 of the population are experiencing acute hunger, and that is 3 million more people than last year. So the situation is dramatically worse than last year. What we're finding is a confluence of factors. There's a drought in the north. Malnutrition is rising exponentially. We have the return of 2.5 million people this year to Afghanistan, the forced return. All these things are coming together to create a perfect storm for Afghanistan.
یعنی می دفعه اول که دنمی گوشه بیشه ها که تو گوشنه و تشنه خواهی کس از ما این صدای منو نمیشنوه دیگه. من موری در یک دروازه که یک خدا برای از ما بید یک 4 طفل دختر داریم دیگه سرپرست نداریم زمین نداریم کارگر نداریم همطور افتیده ایدیم گوشه بیشه ها یعنی من دفعه که اولین باره که من کمک میگیرم خیلی خیلی خوشحالم دیگه.
As Afghanistan grapples with the combined fallout of mass deportations, economic collapse, and shrinking international assistance, millions of families like Samiullah's are being pushed to the brink of survival. Humanitarian agencies warn that without urgent and sustained funding, the fragile safety nets preventing widespread famine could unravel further. Now we take a look at some happenings in Asia in a segment called Asia Watch.
India and the United Arab Emirates agreed to double bilateral trade to $200 billion in 6 years and strengthen defense ties during talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan held in New Delhi on Monday. The two sides also witnessed the finalization of a 10-year agreement for the supply of 0.5 million metric tons of LNG by Abu Dhabi state oil firm ADNOC to India's Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited, India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri told reporters. The high-level discussions focused on deepening the comprehensive strategic partnership between the two countries with emphasis on trade, investment, energy, defense, and emerging areas of cooperation. Both leaders reviewed the progress made under existing frameworks and explored ways to expand collaboration across key sectors. Tourist numbers to Japan hit a record high for the month of December and for all of 2025, despite the numbers of visitors from China plunging 45% in December. Tourist numbers from China fell to about 330,000 people in December, making up less than 10% of the 3.6 million visitors for Japan for the month. In the year to end November, mainland Chinese tourists have made up the largest cohort of visitors to Japan, accounting for around a quarter of the total. Beijing in November urged its citizens not to travel Japan, seeking to punish Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi after she said a Chinese attack on Taiwan could amount to a survival-threatening situation and trigger a potential military response. China claims sovereignty over democratically governed Taiwan. Tourist numbers to Japan hit a record 42.7 million people for all of 2025, exceeding 40 million for the first time, Kaneko said. Total spending by inbound tourists reached 9.5 trillion yen over the year, also a record high. Pakistani firefighters began pulling bodies from the smoldering remains of a sprawling Karachi shopping mall this week, where more than 60 people were still missing after a massive fire that killed at least 21. The city's biggest fire in over a decade started late on Saturday at Gul Plaza, which houses 1,200 shops in a multi-story complex spread across an area larger than a football field. The blaze in Karachi's historic center raged for more than 24 hours before it was mostly extinguished. On Monday, the site was littered with twisted metal and debris, along with fallen air conditioning units and shop signboards. Most of the building had crumbled, with cranes demolishing the remaining structure amid fears it might collapse. Rescue workers were bringing human remains out in body bags before sending them for DNA testing. The blaze could be Karachi's biggest since an industrial site went up in flames in 2012, killing more than 260 people.
Moving on. Nepali villagers in Nuwakot are struggling to preserve their centuries-old bullfighting tradition, locally known as Goru Judai. Held every year during Maghi Sankranti, the festival celebrates strength and heritage. However, rising costs, declining native cattle breeds, migration of youth, and modern farming methods are threatening its survival, even as villagers remain determined to keep this cultural legacy alive.
In an arena nestled on the slopes of the hills, bulls fight to show strength and for recognition. This age-old tradition in the Himalayan nation is slowly fading, with bulls becoming more expensive and rarer even in villages. The annual Bull Festival, which began over 2 centuries ago, continues to draw hundreds of revelers from across the nation despite the declining number of participating Humpy bulls. In 2025, a total of 16 pairs of bulls were taken into this very arena. This year, it has dropped to 13 as the annual bullfight commences in mid-January.
गोर्ने हरायो लोकल छैन हेर्नुस् जर्सी मात्रै फिल्छु त्यो त्यस्तो टिमर चाहिँ दिन्छ लोकल गाई जम्मै अब पठाए हेर्नुस् जर्सी गोरुहरू अब अहिले गोरुलाई अब 70,000 80,000 1 लाखसम्म परेर लेख्ने हेर्नुस्.
This annually held, over 2 centuries old tradition is still continued and maintained by the villagers in their own effort. Bull owners in the area are few but deeply committed, caring for their bulls year-round and presenting them in fights to display their strength and endurance.
ट्र्याक्टरको लागि सर ट्र्याक्टर भयो गोरु नि अब मान्छेले पाल्नै छोड्यो पाल्न नि गाह्रो भए अब विदेश जाने भए जम्मै भुरा हुर्के जतिहरू बुढापाकाले अब ट्र्याक्टरै चलाउनु भए यो रडबाजीले पाल्ने मात्र हो सर.
The animals are fed a special diet of cereals, rice flour, oils and vitamins to build stamina and are carefully tamed for competition. Preparations begins during the monsoon months of August-September, with farmers ensuring the bulls develop both the habit and willingness to fight through regular care and training. Practice sessions are held periodically throughout the year. Bullfighting in Taruka, Navakot district of Nepal dates back to 1887 BS when it was introduced by the then Prince of Bhajang, Jai Prithvi Bahadur Singh, during a visit to his maternal uncle's home. Since then, the tradition has been preserved by the villagers of Taruka, who are widely known for this cultural practice.
I am here at Nuakot to watch Goru Judai at the occasion of Maghe Sagrati. I came here from Kathmandu. I heard about this event here, and I was happy to witness this event here.
Continued for ages, this annual event not only has preserved traditional culture in the Himalayan nation with vivid cultural diversities, but it also has been contributing for tourism development of the area.
Even in the age of modernization, Kashmir continues to preserve its centuries-old food traditions. During harsh winter, sun-dried vegetables, known locally as hok suet, remain an essential part of Kashmiri kitchens. Prepared during summer and stored for winter, these dry vegetables are not just a symbol of cultural heritage, but also a vital source of nutrition, taste, and warmth, reflecting the valley's deep-rooted wisdom of sustainable living. Let's take a look.
During the harsh winter months, people in Kashmir widely consume sun-dried vegetables, locally known as hokseun, to stay healthy while preserving a centuries-old cultural practice. Kashmir, renowned worldwide for its rich traditions, has long relied on dried vegetables as an essential part of winter sustenance when fresh produce was scarce. Even today, this age-old tradition remains deeply rooted, reflecting the valley's resilience, self-reliance and enduring cultural heritage passed down through generations.
Actually, these kinds of vegetables, mostly we are using in Kashmir. Kashmiri people are using these types of vegetables traditionally in winter. ये हमारी एक्चुअली सदियों से चलता आ रहा है, जैसे हमारे दादा परदादा वो यूज़ करते थे, तो उस वक्त से ये चलता आ रहा है. अभी यहाँ पे बर्फबारी भी कम हुई है, अभी हुई है नहीं, अगर हुई भी है तो वो पहाड़ वहाँ माउंटेन साइड में हुई है, तो यहाँ पे गुलमर्ग जैसे पहलगाम वहलगाम वहाँ पे हुई है, तो यहाँ पे हुई नहीं है. तो उस वजह से लग रहा था लोगों को कि इसका ये जो वैल्यू है थोड़ा सा कम हो जाएगा, लेकिन नहीं, अभी भी ये वो हमारी जो ट्रेडिशनल जो कश्मीरी जो रिवायत है वो अभी भी जिंदा है, अभी भी लोग इसके शौकीन हैं, अभी भी लोग इसको खाते हैं.
In the past, frequent heavy snowfall and landslides along national highways often disrupted supply routes, leaving people facing shortages of essential commodities, especially fresh vegetables during winter. To cope with these challenges, women traditionally use the summer and autumn months to prepare sun-dried vegetables under direct sunlight. These dried stalks were carefully preserved as an emergency reserve, ensuring food security and sustenance for families throughout the long and harsh winter season.
एक्चुअली हमें सिखाया गया था जब यहाँ पे बर्फ़ ज़्यादा पड़ती थी तो हम यही ज़्यादा यूज़ करते थे क्योंकि उस टाइम फ्रेश वेजिटेबल्स अवेलेबल नहीं होते थे तो ये यहाँ पे बहुत पुराने से चल रहे जी चल रहे तो इसको कश्मीरी में हुक्सुन कहते हैं तो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं इसमें वैरायटी बहुत सारी है तो यह हम इसीलिए यूज़ करते थे कि क्योंकि उस टाइम यहाँ पे बाहर का ये जो बाकी वेजिटेबल्स या अपनी जो वेजिटेबल्स फ्रेश थे वो अवेलेबल नहीं थे तो हम यही ज़्यादा इस्तेमाल करते और इसमें टेस्ट भी एक डिफरेंट होता था तो इसके वजह से ये बच्चे भी पसंद करते थे और बड़े भी
Despite changing eating habits over the decades, Hokseun continues to hold a cherished place in the Kashmiri menu. Lovers of these traditional sun-dried vegetables take pride in preserving a culinary legacy passed down by their ancestors. Their rich taste and natural suitability make them widely enjoyed, offering comfort and nourishment without any adverse effects during the cold season.
हमारे कश्मीर में ये सूखी सब्जी अच्छी चलती है हर सालों से क्योंकि यहाँ लोग पसंद करते हैं ये सूखी टमाटर करते हैं ये बैंगन है तो ये या पालक होती है या सूखी सब्जी जो कश्मीर में निकलते हैं ना अच्छी सब्जी से गांवों से वो सुखाते हैं हम ये सर्दी में बहुत पसंद करते हैं यहाँ के लोग कश्मीरी ये पुरानी बुजुर्गों की रिवायत है हमारे को ये खाते हैं हर कोई खाते हैं इसको पसंद करते हैं इसमें टेस्ट भी बहुत अच्छा होती है ये सर्दी में यहाँ खाते हैं इसमें जोड़ों की दर्द जो होता है वो खाते हैं ये सब सब्जी लगता है उसमें और वो हर कोई खाता है इसमें
This tradition goes beyond mere survival and stands as the defining element of Kashmir's rich culinary heritage, lending warmth, depth, and flavor to winter meals. Despite changing times, it endures, sustained by nostalgia, distinctive taste, and deep cultural value. The continued use of sun-dried vegetables reflects the resourcefulness and ingenuity of Kashmiri households, showcasing how traditional food practices help the region's cuisine flourish throughout the year, regardless of harsh weather conditions.
As we wrap up today's episode of South Asia Today, we thank you for joining us. We'll return next week at the same time with more insights and updates. This is Shivangi Mishra signing off on behalf of our entire team. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.